Hey guys, how you doing? Lee here. In the direction I'm wanting to take my channel a little bit in the path to self-reliance, I'm going to be looking at doing some canning and some stuff that we've canned already. Being self-reliant, it incorporates a lot of things, including growing your own food, storing your own food, canning that food. Just making sure that you have supplies on hand to feed your family in case of a bad, storm situation or a bad economic situation, something along those lines. But anyway, this is some chicken that we canned up back in February of this year, 2014. The first thing that we started out with was pork. I don't know why we started with pork at first. Pork being what it is, the chances of getting sick off pork and everything. But about a week or two later, we did some chicken, and we have not opened the pork yet. Been a little hesitant, and we have not opened the chicken yet. We have canned some salsa. You said ham and beans, dear?
Ham and beans.
We did some ham and beans. Some chili. Might do that recipe at some point. It's not your traditional chili, but it's very good. What else have we done, dear?
Vegetables.
Vegetables, stuff like that.
Soup.
And what?
Vegetable soup.
Vegetable soup, and it was really good. But the chicken, as I said, we haven't opened yet, nor have we done the pork. And I've been a little hesitant about opening the pork. I've been talking to Peachy Prepper, and she asked the procedure that we used, and I told her the procedure. And, she said, well, what she thought was everything should be okay. She said, open it up, and you'll know right away whether it's bad or not. And one of the signs to look for is whether the lid is still sealed. You push down on them, they're still sealed, they're not giving, they're not pushing in, so they're still sealed up, they're not leaking that way. You notice we don't have the rings on the cans. After you've canned the food, you want to, and after it's set and the lids have sealed, you want to take the ring off. A couple of reasons for that. One, it doesn't stick on there, rust on there to where you can't open it up, sometime later. Another reason is if they do leak, the lids will pop, and you'll know from the smell, as Peachy was telling me, and I've read other places. If you leave the lid on, you have more of a chance of the can breaking. It'd be a lot nicer to smell the smell, go in and see the lid off, put the lid on it. You don't want to reuse the can. You don't want to reuse the jar. You definitely want to mess with the food. Put the lid on it, carry it out, bag it, whatever, throw it in the trash, get it out of there. That would be a lot nicer than going in and finding the can busted open in your pantry and spoiled food all over your pantry and contaminating everything. But as I said, she asked what procedures we followed, and I told her, we canned it to the directions in the ball canning book, and we canned them to the proper length of time, which was 90 minutes. And that's something we've learned. You want to follow, especially when you're first starting out, a time-tested, approved recipe. Something that the USDA has approved of, or ball canning. You might, well, Aunt Betty's done this for years, and this way Aunt Betty does it. You might be taking a risk. Maybe Aunt Betty's just been lucky all these years. Starting out, especially, follow the recipes that are approved. As you get into a little bit, maybe you can experiment a little bit. But remember, there's a reason that the other ones are approved. This isn't like typical cooking. It's more of a chemistry. You need to make sure everything's right. As you add ingredients, you change the chemistry of the ingredients inside. You change the acidity of the ingredients. So anyway, back to that. You just follow an approved plan. Well, we're going to open one of these up, and how many jars do you think we need? 2?
Yeah.
We're going to open 2 jars up, and we're going to see how it smells. and we're going to check the consistency of it. We're going to cook it up. What we're going to make in the long run here is some fajitas, you said?
Chicken fajitas.
Chicken fajitas. So I'm going to open one of these up. I don't know if you could hear that, if you heard the pop. Oh, smells really good. It smells what you would expect if you opened a can of canned chicken and a chicken of the sea chicken, you know. Again, smells very good. Dear, would you like to come give these a smell? You don't have to get on camera if you don't want. I'm going to hand these jars to my wife. Here you go, dear. Again, that smells very good. What do you think? Try that one. It reminds me of what is that? The chicken of the sea, the canned chicken. So the first test, well, actually the second test. The first test was the seals popped. You heard the, so we knew they were sealed. They weren't leaking. Do not reuse them. You can reuse the ring. Do not reuse the seals. Pitch them. Another thing on that, as you can see, we dated them. Didn't mark what they were. Sometimes after they've been in there for a while, it's kind of hard to tell. We had to look at our pork and our chicken a couple times. The only way we knew what we had was by the date that it was canned. So it might be a good idea to write down also what's in the jar. So, but anyway, pop the lids. Lids came off nicely. Had that sound when they opened, so you knew they were sealed. Second test, the smell. It smells good. Let me back up there a little bit too close to the camera. Sorry about that. As I said, the first test was that we popped the lids. Sounded good. Opened the lids up. Smelled the product. Smelled very good. So there's two tests right off that we are pretty sure that this hasn't gone bad and that it's going to be edible. Okay, we have our ingredients here. Mind you, this is very impromptu. We're going to do, like I said, a chicken fajita. So this isn't a video on how to make chicken fajitas. It may not be quite like how you make it, or you may have a different recipe. You got any good recipes or any different ingredients? Hey, leave them in the comments down there. I'd like to see them. Like I said, this was very impromptu, so we just kind of used what we had on hand. Just basically some green and red peppers, some onions, of course the chicken that we canned. I have some jalapenos that I had froze up. These were from our garden. I froze those up and I cut some up. I have to, after the chicken and everything's done, put that in a separate pan. The wife and the son, they don't like the jalapenos, so I have to make a separate batch. And we also have a salsa that we have made and canned. This is from tomatoes out of our garden. Pretty darn good. But anyway, so I'm not the cook of the house, so you start with sauteing the veggies.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to step over here. We're going to put a little olive oil. Oh, and I dropped the lid. You see why I'm not the chef. Just enough to coat the bottom.
Yes.
And I probably put too much, but
Okay.
and you want that on about 4 or 5?
About 5.
About 5, okay. Kind of a low medium heat. So I've got that warming. In just a minute we will put the veggies in and get them warming up and sauteing. Alright, got the olive oil warmed up. I'm going to add the onions. I think I have that. I probably should have put the peppers, excuse me for reaching across there, but I probably should have done the peppers first and then added the onions later. Is that how you do it? You just put it all in at one time. All right. Wow. Looks good. Okay, I'm just going to saute these until the onions get caramelized and the peppers get cooked through and get softened, I guess. And what's that?
5 minutes.
She says about 5 minutes, so we'll do that and we'll get back at that point. Kind of waiting to taste that chicken. I want to taste it before I put it in. Like I said, I was told you could eat it straight from the jar, and it does smell that good. I really would like to try a bite of it before I cook it. Okay, I'm going to get the chicken and we're going to add that. Alright, well the veggies are all ready and ready for the chicken. As you can see, the chicken kind of has a tuna appearance to it. Give it a little bite here and see what I think. It's actually pretty good. I could see making like a tuna salad or something like that out. That's pretty good. Having another bite. Sorry. Anyway. Just crumble that into here, dear. I think we may have a lot of chicken. I don't know if we needed 2 jars or not, but we'll have plenty. Do I need to cover this?
No.
Okay. We'll let that, I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Let that chicken warm up and kind of get them veggies mixed in. Speaking of that, over here I've got a pan warming. I'm going to warm up my jalapenos. Just kind of warm them. I didn't cut enough of those, I can see already. I cut up 2 and I think I need about 5. Hey, dear.
Yeah.
I think we have more chicken than we have veggies. I think 2 jars went a long ways. Okay. You sure I don't need?
Yeah, we get plenty.
Okay. Well, I'm going to turn the peppers down, and I'm going to cut some more, I think, and add to that. I think I'm going to put a lid on that and let that warm a little bit. We'll get back. Alright, well, I think it's about time. It's smelling pretty good. It's getting some juices built up into it. Smelling pretty good. As I said, this was kind of an impromptu video. A little hesitant to try the chicken. Thanks, Peachy Prepper. Gave me a little bit of encouragement to do it. So, like I said, we used what ingredients we had. And so it's a little bit bland version, but it's what we had. Cut up a couple more jalapenos. Mixed in some Thai peppers that I had also from my garden. We'll cut some of that up and mixed in there. So I'm going to pull the peppers off. And my wife, she likes her shell right out of the refrigerator. She makes it. There's a little trick that we used to do as a kid. I don't know if some of you have ever done this. I'm sure you have, but just kind of warm that for a second or two if you like a warm shell. Nice and quick. I mean, you could do this on a pan also if you want. I prefer doing it this way. It's kind of cool. Oh, I think I had the heat too high, kind of sticking to the burner, but chicken plate. Throw a little of that in there. Yeah, I want to add a little more. I am really anxious to try this. Wished I had a little bit more pepper. I'm going to move the camera. We'll move that right over there. Okay. So I've got the fajita. A little bit of cheese on that. Salsa. Oh yeah. Again, this is salsa that we canned. This is out of our garden. I like a lot of salsa. Oh, gotta have the peppers. Like I said, this is jalapenos and some Thai chili peppers out of my garden. Yeah, smother that baby. Sour cream. Yeah, we'll pass. Let's see what we got. I almost rolled it too much, or filled it too much. I don't know if I can roll it correctly. Ah. How they say that? Nothing works when the camera's on? Let's give this a shot. Excuse me for eating on camera, but that is very, very good. Peachy, thank you for giving me a little bit more encouragement to go ahead and try the chicken that we canned. If you've been a little afraid of canning meats and stuff, give it a try. Excuse me. Still got a mouthful of that food. That is good. That is really good, even with the few ingredients we have. But I was saying, if you've been a little afraid of canning or attempting to can meats, give it a shot. Make sure you follow the approved guidelines and recipes that have been tested, and I think you'll do fine. Make sure you follow all the rules. Use a good canner. I think that's a very important thing. The cheaper canners, they'll work, but again, you get what you pay for. And botulism and my safety, I'm going to go with a better canner. And if you want to use it, some of them older canners, 70, 80 years old and still going. Hey, I got a fajita to eat. Talk to you guys later.